Hello, my name is Ouida Dest, and today I'm here to talk to you about my job here at the law offices of Jason Taylor, and also to tell you a little bit about me, because let's face it, if you're calling an attorney, you want to know something about the person that you're talking to. So I'm going to give you everything about me from when I was young all the way through starting with this firm. First of all, I was born and raised in South Carolina, and I don't know if you're in South Carolina or North Carolina or anywhere near, but South Carolina is a pretty small state, and I was raised in a very small rural area of the state called Barnwell. I'm sure you've never heard of it. And I'm from parents who were in the school systems, and they like to help people. And in a small town, we knew all the attorneys in that area. And sure enough, we saw attorneys working to help people in our community. And so from a young girl, I thought about being an attorney. But then I went to college at Winthrop, which is here in Rock Hill, which is where this office is. And while I was there, I decided I was going to be a business major. But as many of you know, sometimes you change your mind really quickly when you get into college, and sometimes you don't even know why, what took you that way. But for whatever reason, when I was in a business law class, I decided really quickly that I wanted to be an attorney. I hearkened back to those attorneys that I knew growing up, and I knew, you know what, that was always a passion of mine, to help people. So that's what I wanted to do. So I decided I would apply to law school. I got into the University of South Carolina down in Columbia, and I went to law school. And it's funny, when I started as an attorney, as a law student, I thought I wanted to remain in that business area of the law. And again, something changed in me, and I got an internship with a local criminal defense attorney. And he's one of the most famous criminal defense attorneys in the state of South Carolina. So I had great experience there. But he was on the defense end. And as I was about to look for a job after I graduated law school, he gave me a word of advice. He said, you know, instead of going to be a criminal defense attorney, why don't you try to be a very fair and hardworking prosecutor? Well, that advice was, I thought, good advice, and so I did actually decide that that would be something that I would do. So I started as a prosecutor in a very small town in South Carolina. It wasn't long before I was brought up to York County, which is, again, where I am right now. And I was there as a assistant. Some of you may know it as a district attorney. Here in South Carolina, we call ourselves solicitors. So I was an assistant solicitor. I worked my way up to a deputy solicitor, so I had to manage other people. But let me tell you about why I wanted to be a prosecutor and ultimately manage other prosecutors, was because I know that we have to hold people accountable for what they do, whether that be in the criminal world or even what I'm doing right now. People need to be held accountable for their actions, whether it's a crime or misbehavior in the workplace. And so that's always been a passion for me, holding people accountable. And part of that actually was, I was a part of the community, you know, trying to help people in the community, and being in programs trying to get people off drugs or alcohol or other things that cause problems in the criminal world. And so I did that my entire career. And you say, career, you're still working. Yeah, I am. I'm still working. I retired, which is funny because, as a side note, I met my husband, we both retired at the same time, when we were in a court case against each other. He was a public defender and I was a prosecutor, so you can imagine how that was. Well, after we met and we, you know, obviously started dating and then ultimately got married, certainly we could not handle cases together. So that of course didn't work. But we both had that interest in the criminal law, one as a prosecutor and one as a defender. And we both decided, after 28 years as a prosecutor, I felt like I was too young to quit and retire completely, but we did. I retired and he had 30 years as a defender. We retired together and started Dest Law. And I know you say, well, I'm on the law office of Jason Taylor webpage, so why is this working for you? You're with Dest Law. Well, this is what happened. I got out into the Dest Law with my husband, and I was doing probate work, and I was doing some family court work and things of that nature, and I realized very quickly that I needed to use the passion that I had as a prosecutor. But where was the perfect place in the civil part of the law? Not the criminal part, but the civil part of the law. And a friend of mine, who's actually an attorney in this office, said, you know, what about doing sexual harassment cases? Because of all that time that I was a prosecutor, I was prosecuting sexual assault cases, which are very similar to sexual harassment cases. And it just was a perfect fit because I still have a lot of passion to help people and have a lot of passion in that arena. And I think that sometimes when you are hurting and you're a victim and something has happened to you in this way, it is very difficult as you to speak to people about these very intimate issues that you have. And so I knew that my years of experience as a prosecutor, that's what I did. And so, you know, I'm a mother. I have a daughter. She is 19 years old and in college. And I know what I have seen in my years that goes on sometimes in the workplace. And I certainly don't want it for my daughter and the things that you know ultimately young girls have to go through. And so taking my prosecution experience and marrying with that of the civil realm of sexual harassment cases, I knew that that was the perfect way for me to be available to people that are watching this video now, that if you need someone and you don't have anybody to talk to about these very personal sexual harassment cases, that is when you please call us. I, again, have that desire to help, and, you know, it can be very difficult. And speaking to a stranger is not easy. So I hope that what you will do is reach out to us at the law offices of Jason Taylor, because me being of counsel with them allows me to stay in the practice with my husband, but use what experience I have as a prosecutor to help in these sexual harassment cases. And again, it's not easy talking about these things, but I will be the person that you will talk to when you have a problem and you need to talk, and woman to woman, sometimes that's easier. And that is exactly what I have been trained all of my life to do. And again, that prosecution part of me is still in there. So I'm going to use all that energy and passion that I had for prosecuting people and putting people in jail to help you. In that case, it's a civil case where we're going to be asking for monetary damages, but I promise you I will be doing it just as much as if I was trying to get someone prison time, because that's what I did for 28 years, and helping you through this particular civil case that you have is what I plan to do. So I'm glad to have this time with you, and I hope that you feel like you've gotten to know me a little bit better and a little bit more personal. But here's the thing, when you're sitting at home and you're wondering, do I have a situation that I need an attorney for? Do I need somebody? Should I call these people? Yeah, go ahead and call. You can call us, the team here at Jason E. Taylor, because we have attorneys in South Carolina, North Carolina, all here for you. And I will tell you this team is hardworking. They're going to do everything they can to help you through your situation. And I specifically am going to be dealing with employment matters, including sexual harassment, sexual orientation, and anything along those lines. So now you know me. So please feel free to call. The number is 800-351-3008, or you can find us at www.thelitigator.com. And again, my name is Ouida Dest with the law offices of Jason E. Taylor. Take care and stay safe.